My Better Living. Spend some time with Nurse Shar for honest and healing conversation about the benefits, challenges, and real-life struggles of living healthy, well, fit, and free. Real discussion for real people who want real change. My Better Living. This podcast is being broadcast on Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams. You can download Power Plug Radio app on Google Play or the Apple iStore. Don't forget to subscribe to the Power Plug Radio YouTube, where you can catch My Better Living live every Tuesday night. And visit www.powerplugradio.com to find out how you can sponsor the next episode.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of My Better Living. This is episode 9, and this week, actually today, is International Women's Day, so it's only fitting that episode 9 is dedicated to discussion about women's health and what we need to do as women to really just get all of this in balance. So shout out to everyone who's watching live right now on Power Plug Radio YouTube, as well as those who, like I like to say, understood the assignment and they downloaded the Power Plug Radio app, or they said, Alexa, play Power Plug Radio, and they are now listening live on the radio. It is March, and you heard last week that we are all about you are what you eat. If I could say that in one full sentence. You are what you eat. So we are going to stay on that theme this month. This is your girl, Nurse Shar. I am joined by
Latricia Ali. Hey, y'all. Hey.
My wonderful co-host. And we have 2 wonderful guests. One guest was here with us last month, and she's returned.
Yes.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, guest.
Thanks for having me back. I am Ayara Sunray Ma'at from Yummy Wellness Living.
And, of course, she brought the yummy smoothies.
So good.
Yummy Wellness brought some yummy smoothie that it was like,
gone.
Mine is gone.
Yes,
It's no more. And our guest, Miss Lola Benet, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, greetings, good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Lola Benet Houston of LBL Holistic Health and Wellness. I'm sorry I missed you guys the last month, but I'm so happy to be here. Just a little bit about my company, since I wasn't able to talk about it before. I own a health and wellness company, and we provide services and goods for your mind, body, and spirit. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I've been in this field for over 10 years, but my business is just under 3 years old. And I'll talk a little bit more about my services and stuff throughout the night. So
For
I'm
sure.
happy to be here with y'all.
This week, the Nurses Station, we're focused on women's health. We're also going to get to know a little bit more about LBL Holistic Wellness. As a matter of fact, I was talking about you the other day to somebody who doesn't know you, but I was telling them that I remember when I first met you, it was around this time of year, and you were selling these teas that were supposed to be good for sort of cleansing yourself, because now's the time, there's a lot of pollen in the air, and everyone, the allergies are on swole, like pun intended. Everybody is sneezing. The pollen is ridiculous here in Florida. And I remembered you and the teas, and I said to myself, I need some tea, because I was so stuffed up on, was it Sunday? It was just a little bit ridiculous. So I thought about you, and I ran into someone, and they were experiencing the same thing. I said, where's Lola when you need her?
I'm here tonight.
So I have to know though, what was in the tea that made it so good for like you called it like spring cleaning or something?
I do have a detox tea, so that one's a little bit different. You can use that anytime, but some things that we do use for spring, especially like allergies, it's bee pollen, and then like locally grown or locally harvest honey, because it actually helps you to deal with those issues that you're having with the pollen, right? Another thing that we use for like respiratory health, but you have to make sure that you're not allergic to that, is like chickweed. So that's another herb that I utilize too, and it helps me and my son, who are like we have really bad allergies, but it helps us to kind of eliminate some of those, itchy eyes and, the puffy eyes and all of that kind of those symptoms that you get sometimes with the pollen. So
do you just take it certain times a year, or do you feel like when something's coming on, okay, it's time to brew up something?
Yeah, so anytime you're using herbs, it is a really good practice to make sure you use them seasonally so you don't like build up a resistance to it, and you want to make sure that you're using them appropriate to the season. So definitely around springtime you have different herbs that you would use versus like winter time or fall time, but you definitely want to do a cleanse, and that's another thing that can help with allergies that people don't really think about. Anytime you're having allergies, you want to reduce food intake that might produce more mucus, like and I know people hate to hear it, but we gotta let the dairy go sometimes, because it really makes the mucus. I know that hit somebody's spirit. They didn't want to hear that, but sometimes you gotta let it go if you're not vegan already, because it really produces more mucus, and you'll like get the phlegm in your throat and in your nose and all of that kind of stuff. So detoxing will definitely help during those seasonal changes that we're all kind of going through right now.
Y'all, she knows what she's talking about. 'Cause I've read that like over years. Like she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah,
it's the truth, and I live by this. Like I can tell, I definitely can tell. So if it helps me, I'm gonna share it with other people.
So, as I mentioned, it is International Women's Day, and I was so excited to see on the socials so many people just kind of tuned into this day. So many women tuned into this day, really, feeling like, damn it, it's my time, and yes. I need to be, in good health, in good spirit. I deserve and I'm worthy of. So I saw a lot of that today, and it really made me excited. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to International Women's Day as I do now, and I don't know if just everything is just heightened. But what do you feel like? How do you feel today on International Women's Day? Does anything in particular resonate with you? With being just a woman in 2022. I heard a deep sigh. I know it's a lot. It's like being Superwoman. I mean, all of you are entrepreneurs. All of you are businesswomen. So this one's over here creating new humans every day. Literally.
Beautiful.
Let's talk about that, because I felt good about and knowing that everybody has sort of like a journey that they're on, but today was a good day to say, you know what, I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna celebrate all my successes and all my lessons. At least that's, for me, it was a good day for that.
Yeah, I bought a purple tulip plant today.
Okay.
And it had a little thing that said Happy International Women's Day.
Okay, I like that.
And I'm going to name it. Well, I'm going to name it my name on purpose, because as I water it and talk to it, it'll be like I'm talking to myself. Like,
I love
you're
that.
blossoming, you're growing so beautifully. Oh, look at you,
Yay.
And I put that care into the plant, and then in turn, it puts that care into me.
I love it.
I like that idea.
I love it. I'm a plant mommy, so I resonate with that. It's a beautiful thing.
So what kind of plants do you like to grow?
Oh, me? Oh my gosh. Oh, y'all gotta go on my social media and see all my plants in my house. I have a little bit of everything. I only have like a little patio outside to have like the garden that I want, but I do have a couple of collard green plants, pineapples. I'm getting more into the herbs that I use, because that's more sustainable, right? So I have like basil, I have oregano, I'm trying ginger. Okay. It's not popping up like I wanted to, but I use it all the time. So those are a couple of ones. And then I have like, of course, the kudzu vines and stuff like that all in my house, like the grandmas have, And then I name...
Where they just spray everywhere?
Yes.
I
they
one,
call
but I forgot the
them Pothos, I think, is their scientific name or something like that. So I have those, and I name mine after my ancestors. Oh, that's so I think that's beautiful, as I pour into them, I get messages from my, divine guardian angels. So I resonate with that. But
Yes.
planting,
I do like that.
keep growth around you.
I love that. So what are like some good plants to, I know that plants are really, so now you're, like so I'm gonna tell you a really bad story, right? So one of my coworkers went on vacation. Well, before she went on vacation, she bought me a plant, and she said, she was like, I know you're busy, but you can't possibly like kill a cactus, right?
Oh my goodness.
You killed it.
It's easier than you
killed
think.
Well, I didn't purposely kill a cactus, but I think I know what I did. I ignored it. I didn't. I ignored the cactus. But I was so busy, and so I ended up giving her back the cactus, and she like kind of.
It came back.
It came back.
Yes.
It never came back to me though.
Okay.
But
How is it doing?
The cactus is doing fine. She was going on vacation, and she like was gonna come to my office like, can you? And she was like, and she turned around and she went to somebody else to go look after her plant while she was on vacation.
Oh, it's the office plant.
Well, it was a plant that was given to me because as a gift, and it was like, you can't possibly mess this up. I messed it up, so I gave it
That
back.
happens sometimes.
And I was like,
Oh,
I messed it
okay.
up. I messed up the cactus. So,
Be gentle with
Understood.
yourself and
You
your
know what?
plant
No, you're not the
parenting.
only
Yeah, you
one.
gave it back.
but I love
not
fresh
you.
flowers though.
It's
I
not
love
just
fresh-
you.
Yes.
It's not.
I did it too.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
So I'm like
I
a
had a
baby
little mini
plant
one.
mom. I'm like,
It's okay. It's all
But they're
about
cactus.
process.
I didn't know. They are cactus. They're supposed to hold water and
that's what I thought. That's what I
Sprinkle
thought.
here and there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No,
But they were
wanna
the
be
baby
talked
ones.
to.
I didn't really. I think they were high maintenance.
They want to be clearly they want to be poured into.
Yeah, they do. A little bit.
But I want to know, what are some good plants to keep in your house to freshen the air? Like, because plants are supposed to be like good for keeping the
I
air
need to
fresh
get
around
some.
you.
I want to get the pothos like that,
Yes.
like to get it to spread out through my
yeah.
house. Oh,
Yep.
I love seeing that, like on the trees going up in the yard.
Yes. Oh my.
Yes,
So
Those are
What is
some,
that?
yeah, those are good ones.
What are they called?
Pothos.
Okay.
Pothos or
Yeah.
pothos. One of those. It's a scientific name. I will text it to you. I will text it to you. But
green and
another
yellow.
good one is snake plant, and that's really hard to
Snake
kill.
plant.
It's hard to kill.
That's one of the ones I was gonna say.
And it's good for like positive energy in your
Yes,
home too.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
What color?
See, I need to.
What color are the snake plants?
Yeah.
They're kind of spiky and
They're
green.
flat.
Yeah.
They kind of shaped like this.
like green and white?
Coming
They're
up.
green.
They have like some striations in them sometimes, but they have different like versions of it. So some are darker, some are lighter, but snake plant. It's hard to kill that one.
Spider plant is another one.
Okay.
I like spider plants.
Spider plant is low maintenance and it only needs to see the sun, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't have to be in the sun, it just needs to see it.
Okay.
I can
To
do
be
that.
able to.
I think I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh well,
for
no,
inside.
that's true. I just have my spider plant, whose name Miles Morales, the amazing spider plant, by the way, right? Like Spider-Man. Okay,
I love it.
so it's the brown Spider-Man, y'all. Come on. And then, but my son named that plant. So he is a little temperamental. He doesn't like tap water. Like you can't give him tap water.
Yes,
Because they have
plant
little brown.
folds, like the leaves, like they come out like this, but the thing on it will literally close when it's not okay.
Yeah.
And then when it's okay, it opens back up.
You gotta listen to them. They
you
talk
gotta
to
watch them.
you.
You
Yes,
gotta
they're
watch.
plant babies. You know.
This is like amazing to me. So
It
this
is.
is why I
It's
can't.
real
Oh my
love.
God.
Like I'm just like in awe. Like it's like a pet.
It is though. It really is. But these ones like also give back to you because they're giving you
Exactly.
oxygen and they're
Exactly.
providing, you know, a lighter environment.
Yes.
You know, brain science
what I
actually
need. That's
supports
what I need.
that.
Yes.
Plants
So I need
in
you
your
to send
environment
me a
help your
list.
brain.
Yes.
Send me a list of some great indoor plants that I can't mess up.
Okay.
That would
Yes,
provide
hard to
me with
kill.
some great.
Well, I must
energy.
also mention bamboo.
I like
Bamboo is a great.
But see, you got to
indoor-
tell me about bamboo because I'm gonna think of bamboo the same way I think of cactus. That'll be alright. So
Okay,
Bamboo's
well,
Yeah.
tricky actually.
yeah. Okay. Well, my bad.
No.
Oh.
No, it's good. But for me, my lucky bamboo is not so lucky.
what's so tricky about the bamboo?
Okay, well, can I say what's tricky?
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead,
so
please.
I thought that you only have to water. Like, I thought that all
that's
they
what
need
I'm-
is water.
Right. That's how I felt with
But
cactus.
you have to. They can't get too much sun, but they need enough. And then they may need soil, but they may not.
It's true.
It's your plant.
Yes.
You have to figure out what your plant needs.
And bamboo does not like me. The other ones we rock with hard, but
And
the bamboo
sometimes
is
plants
outta here.
start to go because they're outgrowing the container that you have them in,
That
and you got to
happens to me.
replant them. Like you got to repot them.
They're
my
so
elderberry
symbolic.
died.
They are.
You know,
They are. Like,
everything is just
listen,
symbolic. Like
get a couple
No.
plants.
They'll die.
I might need
They're
to
not
wait
happy.
before I venture out into becoming a plant mom
just pick
when
one.
I have some time.
snake plant, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so if I had to pick one plant to put in my house right now, as a baby plant mom now.
As a baby plant mom.
Baby plant mom.
Okay.
If you want to venture out, ladies, see, this is all good talk. Because we're talking about cleaning your space, cleaning your air, getting you some good vibes. That one plant that you must have in your house.
I'm gonna take it old school and do what my granny did, and she had a whole room of those pothos plants. They are very, very resilient, right? They're very forgiving too. You know, if you do
need
have a
some
little,
forgiveness.
a little time away from them, then they'll come back a little bit easier.
Little grace and mercy.
A little grace and mercy.
So I can put them up like high.
Yes.
Like if I have, in the kitchen where you have like the shelf that's like above the cabinet, they can survive up there.
They just need enough sun. Just make sure they have enough sun.
My grandma used to hang ours, so I have one like hanging in the corner, like by the window, and it just kind of flows down.
Okay.
I'm liking this. Okay, so you think we can do this,
I
y'all?
have like-
I think we can
we
do
can-
this,
we can
baby.
do
Some pictures.
All right.
They're everywhere.
Next week, I'm getting my plan.
We're gonna venture out
Okay.
into the mama plant world and see what comes of it. I'm gonna keep y'all updated. I'm really gonna do this. So I'm really gonna do this. I'm gonna keep y'all updated.
You can do
I really
good when
am.
you're committed. 'Cause,
I am. I'm
grew
gonna
some
commit.
Potatoes. I grew some sweet potatoes.
Did
It was
you?
Great.
Yes.
But when I forgot about them, like it was, they died.
Yeah.
They. I mean, they're hanging on a little bit. Like some of it is kind of hanging on. I'm
They'll
trying
come
to
back.
refresh
They'll
it.
come
But
back.
like,
Send them love.
yeah. If you don't, you gotta love it. You gotta love
That's
it.
what I'm coming to understand, that I didn't love the cactus enough. I didn't talk to. I just figured a little bit of water. I mean, it's a cactus.
You gotta spend some
It's usually out in the
time.
desert by itself. Well, he's talking to it there, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a domesticated plant. It's usually out in the desert. My bad, cactus. My bad.
Well, the first thing I ever cared for, ever, was chives.
How does
Because all
that
they need
do?
is water. You can buy the chives from the store.
Oh, tomorrow.
Cut them, use them. Put them in water in a jar in the sunlight. Keep it watered, and you grow more chives.
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
That's how I
In
love
water.
it.
Yes.
Hydroponic gardens.
Yes, that's how I have my
Hydroponic
avocado
gardens.
plant and how I have my celery.
Ooh,
Celery for sure, because it's
Celery's
water.
easy too. Yeah.
They regrow in
That's a
just
deal.
water for a while.
Yes.
Then they start to,
They're
without
not
soil.
only plant moms, they're veggie moms too. They're hydroponic veggie plant
Sustainability.
mason
you
jar
know?
moms.
Listen, because it's too expensive. It's getting more and more expensive.
Can we
Thank
just
you.
talk
That's
about
Grow
what I
your
was
own
just
stuff.
talking about.
Yes.
Grow
Yep.
your own stuff.
Yes, I
because-
just got my seeds, my little soil pods. Like
Girl,
I'm about to
have
refresh
to.
everything because
Have to.
French fries have been missing from the grocery store.
Yes.
Not that
Wait
it's
a minute, there's
supposed
a
to
French
be
fry,
like,
But potatoes haven't.
it's not the most healthy thing,
Interesting.
but when things like that go missing, it
yeah.
makes me think twice. Okay,
I mean, look, gas prices are going up, so transportation of food is gonna go
Oh my
up
gosh, when
too.
gas goes
That's
up,
my weakness.
everything goes up.
Listen, I'm not kidding y'all. I went to go get gas the other day.
That's
It was
the
like 2 days ago. And I'm pumping. And then I realized, I'm like, okay, I'm still pumping. If I was shit. I look at it and I'm realizing for a minute, because I'm like in a rush, I'm realizing in that second how much I'm paying right now for this gas. Like I almost wanted to take it out of my car and put it back in the tank.
Put this back on the shelf.
Please put this back. I'll come back. Can I get a layaway plan?
Oh my God.
I changed my mind. though.
I wanted to change my mind and just take it out my car and put it back in the tank. Like it was ridiculous.
Listen.
Like is this what we're doing now?
Don't stress yourself out, because what are you going to do?
True.
Pull up and get the gas.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the gas.
It was $30
You gotta get the gas.
Gotta get the gas. Gotta get
I
the
feel like
gas.
it's extortion, though.
It is.
Well, absolutely. Among other things, that seems to be among the soil. But
I don't know. I felt some type of way about that gas, y'all.
yeah,
I feel it.
Yes, I'm having
Absolutely.
flashbacks to 2008.
Was that when the
when I
last
was
time that we had,
yeah.
like,
$5 gas. Yes, $5 gas.
it was $5?
Oh, it was in Orlando. It was $5.
Sheesh.
2008
Not
was
acceptable.
harsh. It was harsh on my wallet.
Listen, it's harsh on my ears
Oh my
right
goodness!
now.
I think this is the first time I've seen $4 for the type of gas that I need in Florida. Well, in St. Pete, rather.
Yeah.
I can't. It's just too much. It is too much. So again, this is episode 9. I can't. We're talking women's health. We will be talking women's health on the Nurses Station. And of course, the Nurses Station is sponsored by the Bird Cares nonprofit organization. Dealing with the challenges of today requires problem solvers who can bring different perspectives and are willing to take risks. The Bird Cares emerged out of a pursuit to inspire and support the community and a desire for actions to speak louder than words. Established in 2017, they're an organization driven by progressive ideas, bold action, and a strong foundation of support. The Bird Cares is dedicated to improving health outcomes in high-risk communities, one message and event at a time. Their mission is to inspire health and behavioral changes among families and communities through health promotion, target marketing, and education. Let the Bird Cares take your health messages from idea to reality. If you or your company organization would like to sponsor the Nurses Station on My Better Living, visit www.powerplugradio.com so you can find out exactly how you can do that. We welcome this week a new member of the Women of Wellness, and that is Miss Nicole Lola Benet Houston. Yes, thank you for that applause. So we want to get into your business right now,
Okay.
but literally your real business. So tell us a little bit more about LBL Holistic Wellness.
Sure. So LBL Holistic Health and Wellness was founded in 2017. And I have been a holistic practitioner for over 12 years now. I've been a licensed massage therapist since then. And essentially, my company is about having health and prosperity in the highest order. So we do have several services and goods for your mind, body, and spirit to make sure that you are as fit and well as possible, but also collectively. So we do have a couple of opportunities for us to come together as a community to develop those skills and add to our wellness toolbox together. So for the body, we have massage therapy. So as I said before, I'm a massage therapist. For the mind, we actually have our Black Readers Group Book Club that meets every second Saturday of the month. Currently, right now, we're meeting via Zoom. So wherever you are, you can participate because we read these books once a month, and then we come together on the second Saturday of the month and we have a discussion about things that impact our health and wellness. Just a little plug for our upcoming meeting, which is going to be on Saturday. We have been reading Dick Gregory's Natural Diet for Folks Who Eat. And it's by Dick Gregory, obviously. I really love this book because he is hilarious, and it's also still very relevant to some of the struggles that we have in our community, but also our transition from maybe some traditional diets that we have to a path of healing ourselves through the things that we ingest. So not just the foods that we eat, but also some of the things that we do and some of the messages that we take into ourselves. So all of those things, it's a very interesting book. So we're going to have a discussion about it on Saturday. So awesome. I definitely encourage you, if you didn't get the book already, please get it. And then also it's on Audible. So if you don't have it yet, you still have time to read the book and, you know, come and join the discussion. If you haven't read the book, we still invite people to come and have the conversation with us because, again, it's very important. And then, you know, you might be inspired to read the book at another time. Another service that we have is for our spirit. So I also do spiritual consultations at request. And then, like I said before, the communal wellness is actually our Wellness Warriors program, where on the fourth Saturday of each month, and times vary then, we have a discussion or an activity, a webinar or a class that helps us come together as a community and do an activity that is applying some of the knowledge that we learned from our book club. So this month being Wellness for Nutrition Month or Nutritional Wellness Month. That's why we're reading Dick Gregory. And then also on the fourth Saturday of the month, this month, we have Nurse Shar, who's going to be talking to us about Nutrition 101. So she's going to be sharing some information with us. The time, I believe, is at 11, the fourth Saturday. So those are some of the things that we have. For more information, please check out my website, lblhhw.com. So for more of the services, updates, and you can also follow us on social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So
hey, y'all heard that, lblhhw.com. You can find out about the services. You can also find out about the upcoming book, how to join the book club, and how to tune into the Wellness Warriors webinars and classes every fourth Saturday, is it?
Fourth Saturday
of the month. So tell us a little bit about, you know, as a woman in health and wellness, what do you think are some important issues for women in their wellness?
Definitely. There's so many. And I know we kind of want to talk about a couple tonight, but one of the things that I wanted to share is about the work-life balance, right? That we go through as women. All of us here are women and mothers and entrepreneurs. So there takes a toll sometimes of all of the responsibilities that we have and all the ambitions that we have. So making sure that we are first and foremost prioritizing ourselves and our own health and wellness, because we can't keep going, right, if we don't actually intentionally take the pause and make sure that we are healthy and well and fit to keep doing the things that we do for ourselves and everybody else, the community, our families, the jobs, the other jobs, the, you know, businesses that we have. So again, going back to the book club, one of the books that we actually read was the Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. And this is by a Black psychologist, Dr. Rita Walker. So I definitely recommend this book to help you to know a little bit about some of the mental health hygiene tips that you really need to have to maintain that balance. And then also just researching some of the local opportunities that are available to us. Right across the street here, we're located in the Deuces right now, but right across the street here is the Well for Life. So please, 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 ladies, make sure that you're prioritizing yourself. And if you need counseling, or if you need a voice, or if you need someone to listen, right, please take advantage of that. We're talking before the show started about like that superwoman complex, but we really need to make sure that we are taking the intentional time to like share what we need to get off our chest so that we can, you know, reflect, pause before we keep going. So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about. Do you guys have any additional resources that we could share with folks about that work-life balance?
Well, I want to share resources sitting next to me, and that's Miss Latricia Ali, who is a guided meditation. And, you know, I love, and I'm going to let her talk just a lot about, you know, just how that helps with the busy schedule and the taking time out. Because, you know, Latricia, you talk a lot about how that meditation is almost like a hug for your soul, and how it sort of helps, like how does that benefit the busy businesswoman and the busy, you know, mom and, like someone who says, I don't know when and how I can find time to do that. How do they make time?
Okay, so the first thing is that you don't need a lot of time. Okay, like literally 60 seconds. If you can give your body 1 minute, like anything that you give it to pause and just to be still is better than nothing at all. So you don't need a lot of time. Don't think that you need 30 minutes. Try not to think that you even need complete silence, because a lot of times you're not going to have that.
Yes.
And that's a part of the practice. How well are you able to stay focused on your goal and your intention in spite of what's going on around you? So even the meditation in the midst of the noise is part of the training. So that's one of the things, because we try to have our energy go in a lot of different places, and I've heard like a woman's brain described as a bunch of different tabs open on the web, right?
So accurate. It really is, though.
And all of them are in various stages of uploading.
A bunch of tabs. But the thing about meditation, it reminds you that you can only be looking at one tab at one time. Now, even if you split screen, and I know they have that, your attention can literally only go to one place at a time. So, I mean, I've been reading, and recently I've come to understand that even multitasking is a lie, y'all. Okay? Your energy, like, it's a part of the universal law with energy. It can only go one place at a time. You can't divide it. Because conditioning. We've seen it happen.
Who taught us that? Right. Take it back.
Eyes. Because as children,
Right now, take it back.
Reclaiming our time. Reclaiming it.
Right. But we learn through seeing, just as we tell people that children learn all the time. And that's the time we're most impressionable, so it's just there. So we think that you're supposed to be doing a lot of different things. We think you're just supposed to be busy. You're supposed to be stressed. You're supposed to be upset about it. You know what I mean? We take all that on. So I think we don't do it to ourselves on purpose. We just think that that's how it's supposed to be.
Well, here's 9 issues that this magazine, or actually Northwestern Medicine, 9 issues that every woman should understand. And for the most part, these issues are either women are predisposed to these health concerns or have higher risk for, having these health concerns. Heart disease, number 1 cause of death for women. And, they're always preaching to us about how to recognize signs of a heart attack, because they differ, from like a man having a heart attack. Stroke kills more women than men. Diabetes. It's not exclusive to women, but it does increase your chance of heart disease, as I mentioned, number 1 killer of women. Maternal health issues. And Yummy talked a little bit about that. I call you Yummy because I keep looking down in this cup, hoping it'll make more itself.
I'll bring more next time.
But Yara went into it a little bit last time she was here about maternal health issues, urinary tract infections. And you know what? I feel like urinary tract infections, are very important to women's health, and very important for young girls to know about urinary tract infection and about, hygiene and stuff when it comes to UTIs, symptoms of UTIs, and not letting it go unchecked. Sexual health, very important. I sat down with the Velvet Missionary a couple weeks ago, and we talked a little bit about sexual health, but understanding STIs, HPV, really understanding how to protect yourself. I think that is a great issue for women to understand about breast cancer.
Yes.
When you turn 40, and everybody turns 40 at some time, right? But when you turn 40, it's like for a woman, a whole new menu of options opens at the doctor's office, right? It's like you cracked some code, and congratulations, you now have about 10 other things that they must check. And, mammograms become part of your life. And so at the age of 40, unless you have a family history, at which point they tell you to get checked sooner. But breast cancer, very important issue.
Can I say
for women.
something?
Yes, ma'am.
In the conversation of family history, check the family recipes. Because a lot of diseases aren't hereditary. It's the recipes that are.
It's the habits.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the habits.
So check what you've been eating. Check, because if everybody's had this illness, it may be because grandma had this, blah, 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 and then she passed it down to this person, and then everybody. You know what I mean? So check those things too.
Yes.
Because a lot of stuff isn't hereditary. It's just the decisions are hereditary.
Exactly. Those habits,
The
those choices.
traditions.
Yeah.
Habits are
Agreed.
hereditary.
Agreed.
That's an excellent point. Osteoporosis and Alzheimer's disease round out the top 9 issues. But Yummy, I keep calling you Yummy.
That's fine. I like yummy. Yummy works.
I like it too.
Right?
Yara. You were here last time, and the last time you were here, you talked specifically about maternal health issues as a major, issue for women. So can you touch on that and talk a little bit of, on this International Women's Day, why maternal health is so important?
Well, one of the major goals in my life, or one of the biggest dreams in my life, was to be a mother. And for many women, they feel the same. And I was totally devastated when I was diagnosed with Polycystic Ovary Syndrome and Endometriosis.
At the same time.
Yes. And I was having severe pain. I couldn't understand what was happening to me. And when I was describing it, one doctor looked at me like I was crazy. But it wasn't until they did like an ultrasound and they actually were able to do the imaging and see what was happening. And I had multiple cysts in my ovaries that were causing severe pain. And I was literally like just pressing and holding on to my body when I would walk because it was so painful. So that, and they told me it would be difficult to have children. They told me I would need extensive fertility treatments, that it might not be possible, but I would need to start considering that sooner than later, even though I was 18, 19. Wow. Because it may not be a possibility later on if I waited too long. Because those are not issues, those are not disorders that are properly treated in a way that can be reversed. They put bandages on it in ways that actually increase the damage that's being done to your body. So next up is a hysterectomy. It's moving you down the line so that they can make more money. It's not really trying to fix the problem. So that's a problem that many women are facing now. And it's because of the foods that we're eating. Those habits, like we just talked about, are handed down to us, and we're consuming things that aren't necessarily the most nutritious for us. They're not really elevating our bodies. They're not enhancing us. They're not replenishing us. So they're not building our bodies up in the way that we need them to. So if we already have a deficit of some kind, it's not we're not being balanced out by what we're putting into our bodies. What's fueling us. And our food's supposed to fuel us. It's supposed to heal us. And once I started taking a look at what I was putting into my body, removing certain things that were causing problems, that were the unhealthy foods, and started eating more healthy foods, I started feeling better. And I started introducing herbs. And once I really got to establish a real regiment with including those in my diet and also learning my body, tracking my cycle, understanding my body and learning my body, feeling it, and developing a real relationship with myself so I could be in tune and know what I would need. That's really when things started to take a turn for the better, when I could really start to be in tune with myself and understanding what I need based on how I felt. So incorporating the right foods is major. And later on, I learned that it actually builds the hormones that are in your body.
A little bit about that, because you said that was like a major issue as to why you was having the problems was the hormones. Like what hormones were out of whack?
So you have estrogen in your body, you have testosterone in your body, there are different chemicals that are in your body, hormones and chemicals that play a different role in how your body develops. So there's chemicals called progesterone, there's androgens, there's different, it's a symphony, just like a orchestra. You know, everything has to be in tune, and it's many little parts, many little sounds put together. So the body's the same way, and the hormones work the same way. So if it's out of balance, it's going to cause certain things to get out of whack. And if I'm not doing anything about it, if I'm not doing something to balance that out, then I'm causing the problem to get worse, or I'm just allowing it to continue, you know, to get worse on its own. So for me, I was eating soy and lots of rice and things like apples and cherries and dates and things that were actually boosting estrogen levels in my body.
So apples boost your estrogen
feeding,
level?
Yes, and it was feeding
I
the
love
cysts.
apples.
Yes. So I started a estrogen-free diet, is what I call it. Just eliminating things that were increasing those hormones and doing things, adding other herbs and foods that were helping to balance and increase the other levels in my body. So I like maca powder.
How did you know that apples and dates, is there like an estrogen-free diet manual out there? Like, how did you know that these were the foods that were triggering the issues that you had?
Well, I started looking at everything that I was eating, and then like I said before, like I turned into like a biology nerd. Like I was just listening to lecture after lecture after lecture, and something just kind of like triggered, and it was like, okay, well, this is boosting these levels. And I heard different people talking about different foods that, you know, you should kind of stay away from. And then I started looking up, like I have a whole list of the different foods that I was buying because I was juicing. Like I was getting large quantities of these foods on a regular basis. So for me, I'm thinking I'm being healthy, but it was increasing the problem. So when I really sat down and evaluated it and seeing, sometimes you do a Google search and say what foods help with this, or what foods are bad for that, or what foods increase estrogen levels, or what foods increase testosterone levels. So in doing just like all that research, I just started eliminating different things, and especially the soy, because that is a major disruptor. Major disruptor for the body.
Agent.
Yes. So you get really inflamed. And that was causing, you know, the pains with my cyst, the cyst to develop and all the inflammation that I was having. And then the cycle being out of balance because your hormones are not in balance like they should be. So your period's off, like mine was like super short. It was not a good time, and it was very painful. So I have a short cycle, and I'm going through all this pain all the time. I was highly motivated,
right,
to make changes. Okay, I couldn't live that way anymore. So incorporating the herbs and then studying nutrition and learning how that really builds the hormones. I was like, okay, fine. If it doesn't help me, I don't need it. I won't eat it, except for the French fries.
Except for the French fries. And that's like one of the things that I tell people, you know, when you're eating food and how food should make you feel. And, you know, differently than, you know, having like that emotional attachment to food. So like if you're feeling down, food will help you make you feel better. I'm not talking about that, how that makes you feel. I'm talking mostly about how it makes you feel to eat good foods, meaning how your body feels, you know, afterwards. Do you feel bloated? Do you feel tired? And those are the things, like, you know, I had to really talk to myself and say, look, and I've had it, and I really need to go on a very strict restriction when it comes to glutinous foods, because I've played with it long enough, and at this point I know exactly what's going to happen to my body. And even when I don't know if there's gluten in it, I know
as soon as you
after, because I know, like I'm already there where I'm recognizing how it makes me feel, and I don't like how it makes me feel. So I have to be very, very, very intentional and very specific about keeping those things out of my diet. It's going to be hard.
Well, I'm right there with you.
I just don't like you said, I'm highly motivated at this point. Because I'm like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen. I don't like the way it feels.
Yes, you want to feel good. You want to feel good. I have the same issue. I have a sensitivity to gluten. So I've eliminated all of that from my diet. And my father actually saw a reaction to eating a pancake. And the next time I was at his house, and I looked like I was about to get a pancake. Oh, he gave it to me. He was like, "You are out of your mind." That's the definition of insanity. Why would you go through that again?
He's like, I'm not
like,
gonna watch
okay,
you do
know
that.
what? You're right. You know?
Yeah, because
It's pretty bad. I should do something about this. So you know what? Just
at first it's
there's
a choice.
lots of options, and you make it a good time.
Yes.
You know, you find your things that are treats, that are replacements, that aren't necessarily like a replacement, but like it's your new thing that you love. Like you know, your strawberries and your coconut whipped cream. Like that's always awesome.
I feel like I got to give up apples now.
Well, you know what?
I really like
You can have
apples.
berries.
I like berries.
There's lots of other fruit.
There's
there
lots
are
of other
a ton
fruit.
of other options.
So you're trying to tell me I'm not going to miss the apples?
You will not miss apples.
She said I won't
You can
miss
have
apples.
sugar apples, but it's not the same. But
What is sugar apples?
it's got an apple name.
They're not really apples.
No.
Oh, see.
But it's a fruit that's really good for you.
It's
and
called sugar
It's very
apples?
healthy for you.
What does it look like?
A baby cactus.
I know what you're talking about.
Without the spike.
We call it
It's
another
like a little
name,
ball.
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it does look like a baby cactus. Good description. I know what you're talking about. But we call it like something else. What do you think, Latricia? What do you think is like a hot button issue for you when it comes to women's health?
I don't know. That's okay. That's not considered women's health, and that is actually very controversial. So
We'll circle back another time.
Yeah, we're going to circle back
I want to hear what it is now.
okay, I'll say the first part. The first two things do not surprise me at all because those are worry diseases, like more than food diseases, and women are warriors by tradition, really, right? Because nobody is a worrier, like for sure, like nobody is supposed to be, right? But then, like women they worry about this, the children, the family, the house, the blah blah, the time of the month, the blah blah blah. Like it's a lot that
All the
women have
pieces.
to
All of
balance.
them.
Bunch of tabs, right?
Right, all of it at the same time.
So, you know, the heart disease and stroke, those are really worry diseases. Those are mind diseases. And I say that because you can cure them with your mind. So, you know, that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, diabetes being on this list is very concerning. I mean, it's not concerning like I almost expected, but I do agree that it is an issue that women, because you're right, you know, when you're so busy being busy, you know, sometimes, you know, and I tell people there's a lot of things out there that, you know, people are like, oh, if I had cancer, or oh, if I had this. And I'm like, my thing is diabetes is such a sucky, like, disease. It's such a sucky chronic disease because it really just strips away at you slowly, you know, strips away at your blood vessels, just strips away at just a lot of things when you have so much glucose or blood sugar rolling around in your stream. It's just not a good thing for you. And, you know, I would put that on the list of probably the worry diseases as well, only because when we're stressed, our cortisol levels go up. When your cortisol levels go up, it's really like a response. It's supposed to help protect you. It's supposed to help protect your body. So that cortisol, what it does is make you absorb more fat. It creates that wonderful lifesaver that is just automatically built to your body around the middle section. But it also increases your risk of when you have more weight, especially around your midsection. It does increase your risk of diabetes. It does increase your risk of insulin resistance. which is another hormone that, you know.
PCOS that
Yep.
involves insulin resistance.
Yep, there's a lot of things that can lead to insulin resistance, but stress is one of those things because, it creates just extra cortisol that you really just don't need.
Yeah.
That's a perspective that I hadn't considered. Yeah, the way I was thinking of it is that diabetes also is from the food because women are just trying to keep going, right?
Yes.
So sometimes
Very true.
if you're not meal planning or if you don't have time or the place or the money, you know what I'm saying, to find, you know, food that'll be best for the body, you're just going to get something.
Right.
You have soccer practice, then karate, then this child has to go there. This child has there's Checkers in the middle, there's McDonald's in the middle, there's Burger King, there's stuff, you know what I mean? So also him being busy and on the go, as you were saying, I think that contributes to the diabetes a lot as well.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yes, and see, that's why I started doing smoothies in the first place. I started doing juicing first, and that was just taking up a lot of time and a lot of cleaning, a lot of parts and everything. And I felt like I was wasting my money because all the fiber was going away. I need to be full. I need to feel my money was lasting. But the smoothies, that's a good way to get like all your ingredients in. I call it like my cheat for getting in the goodness. Because I can put all the good stuff in. I can put all the different powders in, all my herbs, my maca powder, my camu powder, I throw my sea moss in, I can put my greens in, you know, everything that I need that can power me up and balance my body, right in my smoothie.
Right.
And I can run out the door with it with a straw, and while I'm driving down the road, I can sip on my breakfast, my lunch, my whatever it is. Smoothie dinner.
Yes. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Liquid fasting.
So
we know
real.
smoothie dinner in my house.
Right.
Before we get out of here today, My Better Living is teaming up with the nonprofit She Wins Totally for a 21-day challenge that starts on March 10th. So in celebration of Women's Month and Nutritional Awareness Month, March 10th marks the start of the 21-day challenge. So it would be March 10th through March 31st. That is 21 days. That is 3 weeks. 3 weeks is the time period that you need to either break a bad habit or start a new habit. So committing yourself to something for 3 weeks. It's March, and we've been talking about this since January. You know, I know a lot of people have been on their health and wellness kick and the new year, new me. I hope you guys are still in the gym, or I hope you guys are still doing whatever you set your mind to do at the beginning of the year. If you haven't, if you fell off the train or whatever, now's a perfect time to get back on there. She Wins Totally is a group on Facebook that you can join. Great motivational information, and for 21 days you'll get great tips, great information, and periodically, I forget how many days, but there'll be a woman that'll go live at 7:30 on certain days to kind of give some information and give some really some inspirational words and some tips. So I just want to ask each of you quickly, what would be like something if somebody was out there and said, okay, if I had 3 weeks to focus on something, what should I focus on, Yara?
Planning out, being intentional with what you're eating, planning more with your meals, planning out your snacks, because you're going to be on the go. So when you're going grocery shopping, before you go grocery shopping, even if you got to take a break in the parking lot, jot it down real quick, map it out, so that way you have good options. If you only have good options, then you're setting yourself up for success. And that's a great way to develop that habit. If you can do that through that 21 days, you're in there.
So 21 days of planning your meals. Latricia, 21 days. What would be something great to do?
21 days of stillness.
21 days.
Be still for 5 minutes a day and just literally breathe.
I think I can handle 5 minutes. I think everyone can handle 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes of stillness a day for 21 days. Breathing.
I mean, absolute stillness. Don't check nothing. Don't look at, just close your eyes and go in your mind to the place you want to be.
I love that.
Visualize what you want for 5 minutes.
I like that. Lola, what are we doing?
Okay.
21 days.
So for 21 days, I think mine is more like individualized for the person. But in your reflection, I would also ask people to challenge themselves. So say something positive about themselves, and then whatever comes up that negates that, right? Write that down, and then have an opposing statement for whatever that opposition to your encouragement is, right? And then have those statements said to yourself in the mirror for 21 days. So you are negating your negative self-talk, and you're reprogramming those negative self images that you might have, or negative self comments that you may have, towards a positive light. So we're reprogramming our brain for 21 days to say positive messages about ourselves.
I like it. I would say my thing for 21 days, and this is so basic, but so very, very vital and important. I think that everyone should drink 1 extra bottle of water a day.
I like that.
Yes.
Just 1 extra bottle of water a day is so important to stay hydrated, especially as you're staying busy.
Yes.
Really just, I think that people underestimate how good water is. And we used to joke when you were younger, if something, your belly's hurting, go drink some water. I'm hungry, go drink some water. But seriously and truthfully, water is just a good cleansing mechanism.
Exactly.
Clean out your system, detox your organs, everything. I mean, even teas, the teas that we talk about, you got to make them with water. So I would say just drinking an extra bottle of water.
Water has no enemies. Yeah.
Exactly.
Water
And make it fun. Make it fun. Add some fruit.
Yes.
Add some oranges. Add some lemons.
Eat your water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Watermelon.
Make it fun.
Yeah,
Delicious.
watermelon.
Yes.
I like it.
Celery.
This has been episode 9. We had such a wonderful time. Lola and Yara will join us again next month. I don't know what the topic is, but we're going to continue this month talking about You Are What You Eat. You can follow me, Nurse Shar, on IG or Twitter at NurseSharRN. And you can also catch out My Better Living on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you to the sponsor, The Bird Cares. We will see you next week, Tuesday, 8:30, right here on Power Plug Radio.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
My Better Living. Spend some time with Nurse Shar for honest and healing conversation about the benefits, challenges, and real-life struggles of living healthy, well, fit, and free. Real discussion for real people who want real change. My Better Living. This podcast is being broadcast on Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams. You can download Power Plug Radio app on Google Play or the Apple iStore. Don't forget to subscribe to the Power Plug Radio YouTube, where you can catch My Better Living live every Tuesday night. And visit www.powerplugradio.com to find out how you can sponsor the next episode.